All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Yep, I'm gonna hand him your card too, and we're ready to.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Heather. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This one's just kind of going over what we went over the other day. And then Ron is gonna get us started here. Okay, Ron.
All right. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their evening to be with us. I think it's appropriate to start by welcoming some new faces. We couldn't be more excited to have you all joining us. Please know that at no time are you expected to speak in front of anyone, but I encourage you, if there's a time that you feel that your voice should be used, don't ever hesitate to utilize it, because your voice has the power to change people's lives, even if you don't see it yet. Can you hear me okay?
Hold on, we can't hear you.
It's just real soft.
Okay, give me. Maybe on your side, if you switch your meeting options,
Nope, got it.
give me just.
Perfect. That was, there we go. We got it.
We got him live, now it's gone.
Now
it's gone.
Now it's gone.
I love technology.
Yeah, that's always like that. I know.
Technology.
This is my first meeting I had to do by myself. We didn't know that the cord was not working. And his wasn't working on his end, so
It's a learning
yeah,
experience.
we just had to wing it.
Did you text him to say that he's off?
Okay, I'm so sorry. No,
There we
I'm so
go.
sorry. While you were figuring that out, security was at my door, so.
What did you do?
We can hear
I
you loud.
didn't do anything. All right. So good evening, everyone. I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your schedules to be with us. I think it's appropriate to start off with welcoming some new faces. We couldn't be more excited to have you joining us. Please know at no time are you expected to speak in front of all these people, but I encourage you to use that voice if you at any time have something to add to the discussion, because your voice truly has the power to change people's lives, even if you don't see it yet. It's been a while since we did introductions, so let's start by introducing the team. I'll kick it off. My name is Ron Sprung. I'm the Community Health Manager here at the Greene County Health Department. In that capacity, I also serve as the Director of the Greene and Scott County Recovery Council. I'm responsible for prevention efforts, outreach, engagement, and many, many other things here at the department. But most importantly, I'm here because I'm a person with lived experience with both mental health and substance use. For me, that means overcoming my own challenges, very real challenges with substance use, as well as a decade ago, overcoming my mental health challenges. I'm proud to say that I've been in recovery for over 10 years. I am here tonight because there is light at the end of the tunnel, even on your darkest days. Recovery can be and is possible for every single person, which is the reason this council was formed to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to the team. Let's start off with Amanda.
I'm Amanda Morrow. I'm also a person with experience. I'm also with addiction and mental health. In 2014 in June, I actually got in trouble due to my addiction. That's when, I surrendered and, had to get the help that I needed. And this has been a passion of mine for years, is want to help others because it is possible. It's not always easy, but it is possible. And that's what we're here for, is to help everybody that we can in the community. So, and I'm also the recovery coordinator. I'll pass it on to Heather.
Thank
Oh,
you.
wow.
Yes, it is.
Don't mind me, I got little notes.
Hey, it's okay. I always had to do the same thing, so believe me, it's okay.
My hand gets sweaty all. My name is Heather Pfeiffer. I am the new recovery coordinator here for Green and Scott County. Here at the health department. I am also a person with lived experience. By that, I mean, I have been through the battle, with my own loved one, that's my brother, who has, battled addiction most of his life. He's still battling it. He goes to rehab, he gets out of rehab, he goes back. It's a cycle for sure. And it's really sad instead of to see, him go through that, and you want him to get the help that he needs. So that's how I understand it. And I mean, I had struggles a little bit with alcohol at one point in time in my life, but I have overcome that, and I'm here to help you on that. You're welcome.
Thanks, Heather.
You're welcome.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Bob Krupaski. I'm a retired recovery coach from Gateway Foundation. Also a person with living experience. Been clean and sober almost 30 years now.
Wow.
There is hope.
Wow.
Yeah, there is hope.
Yes.
Last September, I went through open heart surgery and I didn't want anything for pain. So Tylenol extra strength is what got me through that to help me rest. I mean, I don't even take NyQuil, but it helps me. So there isn't anything that can happen to me during the day that drinking or using is going to make any better. So, I'm just grateful to be here. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
I'm Molly. I am the health department administrator here. We started this whole organization or function to try to reach people and actually help and find solutions to a lot of different problems. And I've just, in general, had a lot of family and friends with addiction scenarios. So, I was standing in this one presentation where somebody was sharing that they had this experience when they were in high school. Epidemic really did start. So,
It's not.
I'm Kevin Clanton, and I'm here. Initially came on when it was a smaller group of mental health group that kind of came together to address mental health in our region. And out of that has grown, then kind of got absorbed into the Recovery Council. I am a former administrator, principal in the public school system, secondary ed. And so I was dealing with a lot of students or families that would come in that were going through addiction and trying to recover. In addition, my step niece, when we got her, she was 4 years old and she was addicted to meth. And so we have, we've been doing that. She's now 10. And so she's, we have not her have relapses, but the trauma has caused her to sometimes different triggers to kind of go back to her earlier years. We see things that happen. But I'm very passionate about this. This is a need for Greene County and Scott County, and that's why I feel like this is a good space for me to spend my energy.
Yeah, thanks everyone for sharing your stories. I know each of us have our own unique story. Our paths have all been different, but we were all destined to be brought together to build the thriving recovery system in Greene and Scott County that will ultimately reduce the risk of substance use and mental health challenges, which ironically is the vision of our council. So yeah, thanks everyone again for sharing your stories. I don't have any old business to share with the council, but let's get into some new business. It's gonna take a bit. In March, our work to connect individuals to their families ended with 94 interactions or consults, as we called them. They were spread out in both between remote Carrollton and Root House. Additionally, our team held 96 consultations, which range from a variety of community health topics, including nutrition, dental, tobacco, physical activity, you name it. A number of those individuals in that 96 were people in active recovery, as well as people seeking or maintaining their recovery. In April, thus far, we've had 79 consults. In our work to build the supplements to clinical long-term recovery, we've built what we call the recovery support services. And recovery support services, as Amanda there, it's meant to not replace clinical support, but it's meant to act in unison with clinical support and act as a bridge between your entry in recovery and really your entire road through recovery. In that work, we've supported now 42 full-time individuals. One of the crucial parts of this council's work is improving clinical supports within our region. I want to take a moment to highlight the work that we have done on this front. We've held multiple calls, meetings with providers from regional, and I'll say reputable providers in our region, and those meetings were very fruitful. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves by discussing any of the details of those meetings, but those meetings were very fruitful, and Molly and I have some meetings scheduled later this week as we continue those efforts. Even if nothing materializes out of these, at the very least, it's putting Green and Scott on the radar of people who can make things happen. And, you know, that's something that I'm proud of. Our very own barista, Ms. Beth Burris, actually presented at the CARES Consortium earlier this month. She is a member of this council. She represented the council amazingly. Beth shared her story and her journey that led her to the council. And I cannot thank her enough for not only telling her story, but being a strong, vocal advocate for this community. The ROSC team, including Heather, Amanda, Molly, and myself, was fortunate enough to have been able to attend the 2023 RX and Illicit Drug Summit in Atlanta earlier this month. During this conference, we were able to network and learn evidence-based, cutting-edge work that's going on all across the country. It was truly remarkable hearing all those stories and journeys of individuals that have experienced so much, much like the people in this very room. You may have noticed that I'm in a background, or my backdrop here is not so much Greene County. That's because I'm currently in Atlanta. Yesterday, I was fortunate enough to be able to represent the department as a presenter at one of the sessions, but I'm happy to report that ever since then, every session that I've attended has been centered around emergency preparedness, the overdose realm, substance use and overdose, emergency preparedness. There's a lot of great information here, and there's a lot more sessions to come. Families are a really big part of the recovery journey. Recently, Kevin, Amanda, myself, Heather, and Mandy were fortunate enough to attend a Celebrating Family curriculum training that's helping us, or will help us, build family supports in Greene and Scott County. But I think this is a perfect opportunity to turn it over to Kevin and let Kevin talk about it, because this is really her baby. This is her area.
No pressure, right? Thank you, Ron, for that great introduction. So Celebrating Families, as a former teacher, as we were going through the training for it, I discovered it was really in my wheelhouse. And what this program is about is families who are in recovery or have been in recovery.
Sorry, do you have a pen?
I do.
That to where I could write some of this stuff down.
And it is set up to kind of teach families how to get back to interacting with each other in a calm way, in a productive way. Because I think we all know sometimes with addiction, families can fall apart very easily. And this program is a 16-week program. And part of it is about even just sitting down and having a meal together as a family, and there's different topics you can discuss. And so we as coordinators of it would kind of walk those families through those topics. There are activities to be done, as well as it also targets pre-adolescents and the adolescents and the young children in the families as well. So it's just about bringing everybody back together, because when we're in recovery, sometimes we forgot about what is it like to relate together as a family. Yeah. And that's what this program is about. And so in 16 weeks, I know sounds really long, but I would think that it would be very successful. If it was any shorter than that, I would be afraid that maybe it wouldn't be as successful, because there's a lot. It's just relearning how you handle your emotions, relearning how do you handle your adolescent's emotions, who was dealing with maybe one of the parents was addicted and was always yelling, and how do you handle those emotions coming from the adolescent? So I don't know, is there any more you want me to talk about? Does that sound like, have you guys shared
I
this?
think you nailed it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have you shared it with other people coming in? Like, and what's their thoughts as you talked about it?
So we'll get to that. You're jumping ahead there, Molly. So this training, it was collectively, it's over 200 hours of training that I think we can utilize to better serve our community. It has a lot of benefit. So we're going to be working to incorporate this program into it, or bring it to fruition. I'm really excited that some of these activities in this program can also be utilized kind of like an all-encompassing approach. It could be utilized in other programs. So it was a huge benefit, I think, to all of us, and it'll be a huge benefit to the community. So last week, we hosted our strategy meeting with people with lived experience. This was a closed meeting, and it was held in conjunction with our Peyton Pizza Night. And all I can say about this is mic drop. It was a huge success. In all, we had 14 total when you count us, but there's 12 people total at the meeting. And we came together to discuss the council's work. During the meeting, Amanda, myself presented, and Heather presented the council's work, our mission, our values, and the steps we're taking to get there. We wanted to garner feedback and hear additional needs and challenges within the community. The response that we got blew us out of the water. It was overwhelmingly positive. We heard feedback like, this is what our community needs. How do we get the word out about this? This is amazing. But we also heard, how can we do more? And, as somebody that goes all the time, I like that. What else can we do? We had an open and frank discussion about the council, and what their collective wish is, and how their voice can be utilized in the process. During the conversation, questions, we asked, what else can we do to help maintain positive growth? And the answer was wholeheartedly, you're doing exactly what we need. And that reinforces the steps that we're taking. There's a need for helping people develop life skills. There's a need for helping people develop healthy habits. You know, a lot of times we collectively take that for granted, but in recovery, unless you've been there or seen a loved one struggle with it, a lot of times you lose yourself and you lose those skills in life. And this conversation just really opened, it was like a light bulb kind of for me. I know the girls feel the same about the conversations that we had. It was just overwhelmingly positive about the council, our work, and where we go from here. One of the big things that came out of it was the need to increase our recreational activity, and the need to create safe places to expand social connectedness. PLEs are people in recovery, and people not actively in recovery, but seeking recovery, are seeking a safe place. And this council, by extension, the health department, we've taken the steps to help supplement this ongoing crisis that we face. It was by far like one of the most productive meetings that I think we've had with real tangible feedback. I'm going to let the girls talk a little bit more about what came out of that meeting.
A lot of it, I wanted to see more like doing, even like game nights. I just thought of it like doing even volleyball, basketball. That was a huge thing that a lot of people wanted to see, is, you know, to bring more sober activities. You know, they really enjoyed the paint night. Even some of them suggested wanting Alsea, doing like a basketball tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Even, you know, like going on hikes. What else? There was,
You mentioned golfing.
yeah, golfing. I mean, so pretty much, you know, bringing sober activities into the area. So that's something that we really want to work on, as simple as, you know, game night.
They share like messages about how to get the information out, so and kind of really
And
engage.
that's something that they were asking us, is like, how can they help too? You know, like,
That's
obviously a lot of them were wanting to go out and spreading the word. And, you know, we've even got some new people too coming to us that even showed up that night that didn't realize, you know, some of the stuff that we offer. So.
And what did you talk? So did you talk about that program where it's the 16-week program? Like, did you talk in depth about that?
Because we were still in training, because
Okay.
we just got done Friday with
Yeah.
that. So we hadn't finished. We did talk about doing the life skills, that we're going to be starting that in May. That's going to be from like balancing your checkbook to helping with like resumes to all sorts of tobacco, tons of different life skills. So we did talk about that. What else did we? Of course, transportation is something that is huge, that we know is a barrier. Some of them even suggested trying to do like a fundraiser to get some kind of van, you know, or something. We wanted to do. Can you think of anything else, Ron, that we?
No, I think you nailed it. It was a very genuine and it was a real conversation. And I cannot thank the people that attended that night enough. Out of it, we're actually we've increased that meeting to a monthly meeting. So it will now be a monthly meeting, and it will be rolled in connection with recreational activity. For now, it is going to be a month, as long as we get, or one per month, as long as we can see, you know, how it's going. But that could change in the future. There is the need to do more, and I feel like we're meeting the need, and we'll just continue to see, you know, my plan is just to hold steady on the course that we're headed.
When we say that meeting is for people with lived experiences, are we including people with family experiences too, or just?
It's for
Yep.
anybody.
Okay,
Like Olympics.
okay. I was just
Yeah.
thinking. That
It's
might
for
be another,
anybody with lived experience.
We could do maybe another one too, eventually with just families that have ideas too. That might be
Right.
something that.
That
Yeah.
sounds darn good. That does
Yeah.
sound
And
good.
that's kind of the plan as we continue to expand, as we get ready to implement the Celebrating Families. That group that participates in Celebrating Families can be utilized as another branch. Because there's going to be valuable, genuine discussions held during those interactions that can bring more feedback to the council. So I was blown away by the response that we received. The feedback that we got was amazing. I think that if we continue holding course, we're going to meet the needs within the community, the real need in the community.
when's the next
So-
event, like, okay, night, or do you have another one? Pretty
It will be, let me pull it up in front of me. I'm not in my office. Sorry, Molly.
You're supposed to have this stuff memorized.
Yeah. So I was working on the schedule before I left on Saturday. And it is, so some of the dates changed.
I just think if it's another paint night, people want to get that on their calendar, because I think they'll spend pretty fun.
Yeah, they really,
Yeah,
we did turtles this time.
I know. And they got their, it hung up.
Oh, yeah, we put them in the hall up
In the
there.
hall, they were so-
What?
All right, so
We can talk about doing like a social, they have all kinds of ideas.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Different.
I
like
remember
a
to
water
Ron
night.
about the blanket thing.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's.
the next date is May 17th.
May 17th.
May 17th at 6 p.m. And then once I get back, we'll send out a official calendar. Our calendar has expanded from 10 dates that we initially started with to nearly 45-ish dates that we are up to now of events and stuff that we're going to be doing. So really excited. It'll skyrocket once we have Celebrating Families on there. So I think that we're doing absolutely amazing. I haven't heard any feedback from the statewide ROSC team. Nobody said anything about our strategy plan. If I haven't heard anything by midweek next week, I am going to reach out and see if I can solicit some feedback. So with that, I'm going to open the floor up for discussion. Is there any questions?
So is this the new meeting for like this?
So the next
Mhm.
one on the is the 17th, 16th, 17th. It was 16th, right?
Ross is the 16th at Root House, is that the one you're?
And then the PLE 17th,
17th.
right?
Mhm. Yep.
So the PLE one is with just people with lived experience.
On the 16th or 17th?
The 17th,
17th.
Mhm. Just like we did, you know, and then we did the paint. right
Oh,
after.
yeah, okay.
So that one on the 17th is. just
Okay.
people
And
with
that's
lived
in the Root House?
Yep. at Root
Yes,
House.
that's in the word house.
Yeah.
Okay, so May 16th at 6 o'clock?
So on the 17th, that one is at 6, and then usually right after we'll do an activity, probably paint night. But
Okay.
usually every time we do the one with PLE, we're also gonna try to do some kind of activity.
Okay, that sounds good. That
Even
does
sometimes it
sound
might
good.
be game night or.
I like games.
Yeah.
The one that's
I like
on the
board
16th? You said there's one on
So
the 16th.
The plan is to make it the third Let me make sure I'm looking at the calendar right. The third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m.
Okay,
That way it's easy to remember.
Third Wednesday.
Yeah. So is it on?
So that's the PLE one.
Yes, that's going to be the PLE one.
PLE is the third Wednesday of every month.
okay,
That's
We
it.
have one last.
okay, that does sound good.
So you always got the same one, right?
Yes.
We do 2 different days.
But then we have Ross.
Yeah. hold up.
Do we have, but that's different from PLE.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Our Ross Council meeting, our next actual Ross Council meeting, which is more a learning opportunity instead of a discussion like this, is on the 16th of May at 9 a.m. And that's going to be at the Root House office.
Okay, now it's gonna be a meeting like we had with the paint or?
No.
No.
So the one on the 16th at 9 a.m. is our monthly Ross meeting. There's the one on the 17th is the one like we did the night that we painted. Is what people with lived experience.
Okay. Now, is that like tonight or what, after this?
It's kind of confusing because, so the council meeting is just kind of like a similar discussion about things that are going on the council.
Sometimes people tell their story, or if somebody comes to like a class at the monthly Ross meeting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to keep it
More
all.
of a business meeting.
More of a business meeting.
Yeah,
And the one at the evening is more fun based.
yeah, like the open discussion like we did last time.
Okay.
That one.
And the next meeting like this, where we sit around and discuss the work that we're doing, is on the 30th of May at 4 o'clock. And that's here at 4 o'clock here at the health department in Carrollton.
Okay. All right,
And we will work to get the schedules out as soon as we can. We should have it out by the end of next week. So
And
then
do
you
you
can
put the,
see all the dates.
you put the
Sorry, Molly.
schedule on the site too?
Mhm.
So it's.
Yep, the schedule's on the website.
Get on the website too. You're like, do I come or do I not come? I can go on the website.
I don't like the website
Oh,
stuff.
You like to
I'm
write it down?
old-fashioned. I just want to look at somebody and be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
Person, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we'll get those papers out soon.
Oh,
Yeah. That happens too.
So what else do we got? Does any of the council members have anything to add?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know right this minute. My brain.
hey, that's okay. What life skills curriculum did you decide on?
Well, it just came in.
me go
It's made by a company called Channing.
Okay.
Amanda, you can grab some of those packets. The curriculum is I think it's going to be very productive. The discussions centered around during the PLE meeting centered around the needs and the things that we like addressing grief, managing stress, managing finances, employment, resume writing. All of those are topics that actually came up during the PLE meeting. Those are things that like I shared with the PLEs, at that point in my life, I wish I had the support that we're trying to build now, if that makes sense. And for instance, my own family members who I know lack these fundamental skills, and it's not a deficit. Nobody's ever taken the time to teach them to her, and that's where we're trying to meet that need, that immediate need. That our discussions were really good around it. I mean, there's a lot of interest in attending these classes.
I know you said something about transportation and how is that working out? 'Cause I know last time when we met, we kind of talked about some of the things that have been happening. I do know there's a possibility there might be a little white bus up for sale. That wouldn't be very expensive either.
We did sign a MOU with Tri-County Rural Transit. We do provide free transportation on Tri-County Rural Transit. Anybody that needs it can contact us and we are more than happy to help schedule. Get them a travel voucher, we'll pay for it. The other immediate need that we provide is, of course, gas cards. We have gas cards to help meet the people that have a vehicle. Outside of that, we don't have a lot of good answers yet. And I'm working on just having a discussion. I actually have sent multiple communications with a company, and we're going back and forth and talking about how maybe they could put their services here. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if they're fruitful or not. It's just kind of going back and forth at the moment.
I will tell you something that we've discussed in the work that I'm doing, and it's just kind of thinking outside the box. You know, who would have ever thought that Greene County would have DoorDash? You know, but we have DoorDash. But when you're thinking about transportation, what type of transportation is in the big city? Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
think about
That's
that.
where
Is
that's
entrepreneurial part.
that's actually who the communication's been with. So
Okay.
I've had
Okay.
multiple communications with Uber.
God, it's hearing how much we think alike.
Me and Molly had just several discussions about Uber or taxi services. And then we had discussed Uber. That's who I've been talking with multiple times. I've had went back and forth. And when I say multiple, I'm talking like 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know what it looks like, but those discussions are ongoing.
That's good. That's good.
I know one of the things the girls have on their radar, meeting with the Mass Transit Authority in Jacksonville, because the challenge we're running into is the line stops at the Greene County line, and Tri-County, we're doing great things, but Tri-County doesn't pick people up unless they're in Greene County. So
That'd be great. And we did just put that press release out. So just sharing the communication that these services are provided is going to be a big barrier because nobody's reading the paper. So we have to figure out a way besides just who you're sharing with, how to get that out.
That was gonna be my next question about getting the information. It sounds like the people are like, how do we get this information out?
yes. And one of the challenges is we rely heavily on social media and digital communication, but I'm telling you 99.9% of people in recovery do not use digital communication. So a lot of these communications are face-to-face interactions that myself, Amanda, Heather, Mandy has had. We rely very heavily on talking. And then in those discussions, we also share, please talk about these services. If you know somebody that will benefit from these services, say something to them. Give them our number. Put them in contact with us during these times. You know, whatever the situation may be, we really tailor it to the person that we're discussing. Because I can tell you, I never used social media, where Amanda used social media all the time. So it's everybody's story is a little different.
All the messages everywhere, all the time.
It is. All the messages everywhere, all the time. Absolutely.
When you share something yourself, people see it, and sometimes you share something else. I've noticed, and sometimes you might get one like, but then you share something else, and you get 100.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's weird just how it's hard to know the right way in the, flyers, like how
Some messages work and some don't.
That's right, man. That's
We gotta
right.
keep trying, that's all
Yeah,
we can
we
do.
do.
I think one of the most successful ways that we've been able to get the word out is by just leaning into the partnership of the council members. Because the more that the council members and their staff or the people they work with are talking about the council's work, the more people we're going to get connected. I mean, we grew from 0 to 42 full-time people in just a matter of 6 months. 42 people is a huge caseload. I know JCH, they currently maintain a caseload of like 25 people. So our caseload has swollen way past where we even remotely thought it was going to be. And a lot of that is because of people sharing the stories, sharing what we can do for them.
So Ron, something I saw like just coming into town a while ago is the big billboard out here that says JCH Mental Health Resources, you know, and I'm sitting there thinking, we've got a nice big old billboard in Whitehall that catches a lot of people's attention.
We got two
You know,
billboards
so-
in the hall.
And we got several. So, and I know I've looked into the cost of those. They're about $4,000, but you can rotate them around throughout the year to different towns. So.
Yeah. I love the idea. The more that this continues to gain traction, I mean, that's something we can definitely look at. Our first advertisement was on the back of those Earth Day t-shirts. And we actually had our first person reach out over the weekend and contact us and say, what's this recovery council all about?
That's neat.
That's nice.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're getting the word out slowly, but I agree, Kevin, that that's an opportunity. Maybe we can lean into that as we move forward.
Especially if they're not on social media, you know.
Well, and
Well,
Mandy said today in her house, somebody just stopped by to pick up Narcan. And they just stopped by.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's a
a
big,
big step.
yep.
we're starting to see a lot of people come to the Root House office or leverage the Root House office for odds and end things, like coming to pick up Narcan or getting drug disposal kits. And it's happening more and more and more the more that people know we're there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know Amanda's done a fantastic job at spreading the word and trying to ensure that people understand that Root House is a safe place. It is not meant to, you know, there's nothing that goes on inside that building leaves that building, but it's a place that you can come, feel comfortable, and talk to people that very much have been in the same place that they are, you know. And I think she's done an amazing job. I still think there's work to do, but she has done really good at that.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything this evening or any feedback?
Thank you, Ron.
I can't think of anything.
Or off the bat, I don't.
Okay, Molly or Bob, did you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay, well, if there's no other discussion, I move to adjourn.
Nice meeting you. I second
Yeah, Ron's mom.
it. See ya.
Thanks,
Bye,
Ron.
Hey,
everyone.
Ron.
I'll see you next week.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
Hey, the 27th, I have to go to the doctor, right?
Yep.
What time that is?
hold on, I'll tell you.
You'll get a reminder too, for a day before. I have it set up for you.
Let me take a peek here, buddy.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Mhm. It's at 11:30 and they're gonna pick you up between 10 and 10:15 at the Whitehall Library.
Okay.
Like up front.
Okay, thank you, Ron. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming tonight, everyone.
Thank you for inviting us.
That's my friend Jeannie, and that's my friend Dave.
It's nice to meet both of you. I look forward to meeting you in person when I get back next week.
I hope so. I'm glad that
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Ron.
Bye.
Bye,
I'm waving
Ron.
at you.
You
don't have to. I don't have to do all that. I mean, just as long